chill, not playing in the first half, being off for a while, coming in, giving us what he had in Game 7 was huge for us off the bench, along with K-Love, who made some big shots for us in that stretch in the fourth quarter. So it was a total team win, 5 guys in double figures. But I'm just happy for T-Top because Tristan because he's been here with us for so long and been through all the things we've been through over the course of the last 4 years. But to step in and play the way he did, I'm just so happy for him.
Ty, Ron Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390 in Youngstown. When was the decision made to start Ty? Or to start Tristan, I'm sorry.
Yesterday morning. Well, it's kind of like the night after the game, but yesterday morning.
David Greneman, ESPN. How much of the decision to go with those 5 guys, 4 of them were on the championship team in 16, the 5th being Kyle was on the finals team last year, was that, and how much of it was it just, you've said repeatedly this series that you needed more physicality?
It was the first one. I just think, Game 7, go with the guys who's been here, who's been through it all, know what it takes. And, the new guys, a lot of came in, just did a good job, just playing hard. I know Clarkson didn't make a shot, but just playing hard defensively, just competing. Same thing with Larry, doing the same thing defensively. So, just decided to go with the 5 guys who's been here and been through it all, and they was able to produce for us.
The start, you mentioned the other guys. The start of the fourth quarter with LeBron not in the game.
It was big. We talked about it at the end of the game, just how they bought Bron minutes. By playing well, pushing the tempo, pushing the basketball, and getting easy baskets. So that was big.
Kenny Rhoda, WHBC. Nice win, Ty. By the way.
Thank you.
As far as LeBron, were you planning on playing him 48 minutes if necessary, and how did you navigate that as the game unfolded?
If we needed to, we would have. But I just think, in that first half, just having to set the tone early and being productive the way he was in the first half of setting the tone early. I knew in the third quarter I was going to have to get him out, at some point. And, that's why, you played minutes throughout the course of the season the way he does. When these type of situations happen, you prepared for him. So he's used to playing 41, 42 minutes and be able to take it with his body and still be able to produce. A lot of guys, when they get in the playoff, they're not used to playing that many minutes and then being in a high-intensity atmosphere. It's kind of hard for those guys to perform. So, he does a great job of taking care of his body, great job of conditioning himself for these type of situations.
And then 45 and what he did this entire series, just how do you put that into words?
It's hard to put into words, but that's why he's the best player on the planet. He put us on his back and, just scoring the basketball, facilitating, just being aggressive. I think getting their bigs in foul trouble a lot throughout the course of this series by attacking the basket and just getting to the free throw line, putting a lot of pressure on their defense. So he did it all for us this series.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Third quarters have been so bad for you guys in this series, and today was another one. Did you, and then of course LeBron goes out for those minutes. Did doubt ever creep into your mind? Did you allow yourself to feel doubt about this game in either of those particular spots?
No.
With your lineup, obviously it went well. Was that a one-time thing, given the magnitude of this game, or is it something that you can look for again?
We just got to go into it and just go to the drawing board, and just kind of see what fits us. Right now, Tristan Thompson was big, and he did a great job of setting the tone early. So going into the next series, things could be different. You never know. So we just want to enjoy this win. I know you want to think about lineups going into Toronto, but right now we want to enjoy this and go through all the scouts and stuff and just kind of see where we lay.
It's not just thinking about the next series, though. I mean, you went with a guy that had played and started in 3 finals, and then you hadn't seen him at all in this series. So it was almost like a nostalgia component to it. I mean, just going with the 4 guys that were left.
Just say good win, Joe. How about that?
That's not my job.
I try to figure out all the other stuff, man. He had a great game. He played very well, and we knew we could depend on him, and he produced.
Tom with his Associated Press. Ty, I think you played George the last 19 minutes.
Yeah, he's on a minute restriction. 18 to 20. So
use the right 19.
You're right. That's right.
What did he mean for you guys out there? I mean, he was attacking. He was forcing them into some different switches. What did he mean out there?
He was big. I think, getting an extra ball handling on the floor to help relieve some of the pressure from Bron was big for us. He came out, and he was aggressive, turning the corner on pick and rolls, getting into the paint, making a few good passes to Kevin, a couple to Bron, and also for himself, getting to the free throw line, I won't count the last couple because they fouled on purpose, but 7, 8 times getting to the free throw line, it was huge for us, just having his aggressiveness on the floor.
And Ty, going forward, what do you hope this does for the team to not only get the contribution from Tristan, but George and others to support LeBron?
I think it was a great series for us. I think the new guys have had a chance to grow up a little bit. I think being a physical series, which it was, it can help carry over to the next series. So hopefully we can learn something from this and just, take it for what it's worth.
Ty, Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com. Cameras caught LeBron saying he wasn't coming out. He said he was going to play 48 minutes. Was that something that he addressed with you? Is that something that he kind of tried to bring on himself? I mean, obviously cramping had something to do with that, but
Who's that?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and, we were just going to use him as we needed, and when he came out that last, I guess, 30 seconds or whatever of the third quarter, the bench guys came in, did a great job of just, scoring the back. I think they increased the lead to 10 or 11 and giving him an opportunity and chance to get a great blow and a great break, and came out and finished the game.
Coach, when Ken Miller with the Call and Post, Nate McMillan spoke to LeBron's mental state and that physically he's as incredible a player as he's ever seen. Can you speak to how LeBron has been able to impact this game and this series and this team mentally away from the physical aspect, which we all know is just off the charts?
I just think to come out and play 43, 44 minutes in a playoff game, the intensity of it, you have to be mentally prepared for that, mentally tough. And, it's times you can, blame fatigue or say you tired, but he pushes through. He finds a way to push through, and that's the mental part of it, just being tough mentally, not letting yourself get fatigued, not letting yourself get tired, and knowing that you have to make plays down the stretch, which he did.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Did LeBron need an IV when he came out?
IV what?
IV he went to the locker room.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Okay. And one more thing, the pass, Korver pass to LeBron. I mean,
I was scared. I was scared, but Kyle made a great read, great pass. Bron made a great back cut, and that kind of sealed the game for us. That layup right there. So it was a great pass by Kyle and a great cut by Bron.
Ty, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Playing George the final 19, was that a product of if you took him out, you felt like his back was going to stiffen up?
It was a chance. And then he was playing so well, too, so I didn't want to risk that either. But he was playing well, and, once he got loose and then tried to go back to the bench and get stiff, we didn't want to take that chance, but he played well for us.
And you mentioned having that secondary ball handler, but can you speak to George's effectiveness in terms of LeBron with the LeBron-George Hill pick and roll that you kept running in the third quarter when it looked like you were desperate for offense?
Just, the LeBron pick and roll alongside the Kevin pick and roll. I think he did a good job of just, turning the corner, getting into the paint, taking his shot or getting to the free throw line or making a pass for Bron, who got an easy dunk, and Caleb got a 3 and a pull-up, I think, pull-up 2. So just being aggressive in the pick and roll, turning the corner, getting into the paint, and making our defense collapse, and he did a good job of that.
Terry Pluto playing dealer. Ty, to see Kevin Love finally make some shots in the second half after all the air balls and all the struggles he had, what do you think kind of flipped the switch for him?
No, I mean, he struggled shooting the ball this series. We understand that. But, I think every guy on his team, every coach on his team believes in Kevin and just told him to continue to take your shots. We know you can make shots. So he just stayed the course. It was a tough physical series for him. I think Nate did a good job of just trying to be physical, try to, make Kevin catch it off his sweet spot on the block and just, take away his airspace. So I think they did a good job of that. But like I said, everybody on the team, the players, the coaches, told Kevin just to be aggressive, take your shots, and in that fourth quarter, he was big for us.
Now, what do you think your guys who hadn't been here before, you didn't go to the finals or whatever, can get from having gone through this series now and come out on the other side?
Just see what it takes. I think a lot of guys, talking to some of the new guys, like they have to understand that this is the playoffs. So what we do well and what you do well, they're going to take away. So you got to be able to give other things. And if you're not scoring, if you're not making shots, what else can you bring to the team to make us win and make us successful? And that's the biggest key. I think the guys understand that now.
Jeff Shadell, News Herald. Ty, it seemed like this series was so mentally and physically draining. So how do you just start over again in 48 hours?
We have to, Jeff. I mean, Game 7, we played well. I thought the guys really did a good job just staying mentally tough. They came back and maybe took the lead, I think, but we just stayed the course. And, now you got to flip the switch to the next series, which is, we can enjoy it for today, but tomorrow we got to get right back to the drawing board and continue to be better defensively. I thought defensive-wise in that first half we were really good and hold them to under 100 again outside the three that Oladipo made at the end. But I think our defense has really been good for us, of setting the tone. So, just get back to the drawing board and understand we can enjoy it today, but tomorrow we got to get back to work, and, we have to do it.
Ashley Bastock, Metro Networks. Ty, besides all the stuff that shows up in the box score for Tristan this game, how does his screen and roll ability sort of open up the offense as a whole, and then for LeBron specifically?
I think T-Top does a great job of just, setting the screen and holding the screen. And after that first half, he had five offensive rebounds in the first half. They didn't want to switch it anymore. So he did a good job of just, holding the man up, and LeBron was able to attack downhill and get to the basket.
Tim Hodges from the Washington Post. Ty, you talked about George before. Obviously, he didn't play in the first half. I know you said that in the second half you didn't want to bring him out because you thought his back might tighten up. Was there a reason why he didn't play in the first half and why you decided to bring him in when you did?
Well, we had a good flow going, and we knew he was on a minute restriction. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't want to start him as well. But just in that first half, we played so well, we kind of got away with not having to be on the floor, especially not being all the way 100%. And then in the second half, I knew it would come a time where, that pressure would affect us, and we had to get an extra ball handler on the floor. So that's when the decision was made, I think, early in that third quarter to get him on the floor, and it worked out for us.
First, congratulations to Coach Lou and Cleveland Cavaliers. I thought they, gave us all they had, and LeBron stepped up and did his thing once again.
With the call and post, Coach, can you speak about the performance of your backcourt? If you would have knew you'd get 53 points from Oladipo and Collison, you thought you'd have a pretty good shot of winning this game, right?
Yeah, well, those guys have been playing well and consistent all season long. Darren has had a very good year, both for us establishing the style of play we want to play, scoring the ball, doing a good job of taking care of the basketball. Victor has done the same thing, creating offense for us, both from the perimeter as well as getting us to the pace that we want to play at. So those two guys have been consistent with their play, scoring the basketball really all year long for us.
Nate, when you start to realize that a guy like Tristan Thompson, as a sort of a wild card player, is starting to have the impact that he had today, I mean, how much does that sort of throw you guys into reactive mode and trying to deal with that, which couldn't have been expected?
Well, what they did, once again, they made some adjustments, and I thought we took advantage of their switching and, establishing our bigs in the post. They countered with bringing Thompson off the bench, getting more physical. They went back to their two big lineup with Thompson, Tristan, and Love, and just his physicality, his ability to defend, as well as on the offensive end of the floor. You're trying to defend LeBron. You're at times sending double teams. You're trying to cover the perimeter, and now you got Thompson in there in the middle, who's just aggressive. You need two guys, so it puts a lot of pressure on the defense when you're trying to help in other areas, and Tristan is on the boards pounding you, giving them extra opportunities. He went back to the lineup that has been very effective for him.
Kenny wrote at WHBC Radio. The game plan coming in for this series now that it's over, was it let LeBron get his and shut everybody else down, or you tried on LeBron and he's just so good he was able to dominate the series like he did? Well,
he's such a good player. He does a great job of reading and taking what the defense gives him. If you don't double team him, he's shown that he's capable of scoring it with single coverage. If you do double team him, what they did in Game 2, they put shooters on the perimeter. They'll take that. They'll take you trapping. He will, he's a willing passer. He'll give it up to those guys, Love and Smith and Korver at the three-point line. And, even though he put up big numbers, 46, 44, 45 points, most of those were twos, which allowed us to stay in the game. When you're getting pounded with a ton of threes, you can lose control of that game quickly, and they want that. So what we try to do is just try to stay in front of LeBron, try to keep him out of the paint, defend the paint, but get out to their shooters. I thought we did a better job of that, certainly in our last game, where he wasn't getting layups, and we was forcing him to shoot from the perimeter. Was able to get out to their three-point shooters tonight. Once again, he started to put his head down, get to the basket, get to the free throw line, which puts pressure on you to try to stop, defend the paint. Well, that opens up the perimeter for guys like Korver and their three-point shooters.
Coach Eli Mooney on Metro Networks. You guys were down by 11 at half, but knowing that you've been able to climb out of a few double-digit holes after 2 quarters. What was the mentality in the locker room starting off that second half?
You know, we've been in that position many times before this season. We just needed to calm down. I thought, the start of the game, they switched their lineups, and, we just got a little out of rhythm. And they started LeBron on Darren, who had a good game, our last game. So basically what they were saying was when we switch, when we run those pick and rolls with the guards, it's LeBron switching on our bigs and not George Hill or Calderon. And, we just needed to make an adjustment. And I thought we kind of got out of our rhythm to start the game because they had made some changes. Put Thompson in at the 4 guarding Miles as well as Thaddeus. But we felt like, we didn't play a good first half and we was just 11 points down. We can win this game. And, our guys, I thought they came out and they gave another great second half effort. These guys have been playing hard for me all season long. I never doubt their effort. I never feel that we're out of games because they always play the full 48 minutes.
Nate, Ray Jaski from ESPN 990. Could you comment on the emergence of Victor Oladipo, what he's meant to your team, the ways you've seen him grow this year, how certainly a national storyline is his emergence as a star and leader of a very good playoff team. Could you describe what you've seen and what he's meant to you and how he's developed as a player this year? And as a leader especially.
Yeah, I love Victor. I really do. And, as I told our guys, this has been a joy to coach this team and to coach this group of men this season. And, with Victor, being a young talent coming in, all I knew about him was he had potential. And, really since day one, coming in and working, the relationship has been great. He's allowed us to coach him. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. And every single day he comes in trying to improve. He's a kid that he's there early. He stays late. He's hungry. He wants to be good. He wants to be a team player. He wants to be a franchise player. And he's shown that our organization can certainly build with him for the future. He's a team player, plays the game the right way, and we saw some growth from that kid this season. And he's going to be a very talented kid for us in the future.
Nate, Tom Withers, AP, you partially answered my question, but in terms of your entire group, I mean, you guys got swept last year. Now you take LeBron and the Cavs to 7 games. What do you hope your whole group gains from this experience?
I talked to our guys. I think life is about creating moments, and this was going to be a moment either way. If we lost it, it's a moment we'll think about. We had an opportunity to create a special moment tonight. Going 7 games with Cleveland, possibly winning this and moving on to the second round. But as I said to them, they've created a moment this entire season. A lot of people didn't really give us a chance, and they came in, they worked hard, they worked together, they played hard, they played together. We created a culture with our organization that we will continue to build, and it's all because of the men that we had in that locker room. I mean, it was a special group. I look forward to coming to practice every single day, seeing these guys and working with them. And that's the kind of group we want. We want guys who are going to come in and play for the name on the front of that jersey. It's not about the name on the back. It's about Indiana Pacers. Respect the game, respect each other, play the game the right way, and they did that. And we'll this summer build on that.
Kravitz, WTHR. You talked about creating a moment. Was the moment lost when LeBron was out of the lineup for those couple of minutes and they extended the lead?
Fourth quarter, yeah. Whether it was lost then, you have an opportunity to make a run. He's resting, and we didn't capitalize off of that. We gave him, I think, the start of that quarter, I think we had 4 or 5 possessions. We didn't score. And, we switched our lineups really quickly. And by that time, I think it was maybe 8-9 minute mark, they actually went ahead, built on that lead, and LeBron came into the game. So, yeah, that was an opportunity that we needed to take advantage of, and we did.
Last 3 minutes, when Coach Lou was here, they talked about the importance of the give-and-go play between Korver and LeBron and how he thought that kind of pushed it over the edge. And he said he was worried about that pass from where that happened right in front of you. Was that in your mind the play that really kind of tipped it their way to stay, or were there other things in those last 3 minutes?
I mean, they made plays, throughout this game, and that certainly was a big play. It's just a close game. The shot clock is running down. And LeBron goes back door. We didn't keep a body in front of him, and they get a layup. So it's kind of icing on the cake in that situation. But there was a number of plays that we didn't make, they did, that kind of changed that game.
Close.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Tristan, outside of just yourself being in the starting lineup individually, what did it mean to take the court in a do-or-die Game 7 with those guys that you won a championship with in 2016?
It's nothing like a Game 7. What I was telling the young guys, this is what the playoffs are about. In the Game 7, it separates the men from the boys. You got to give everything you got. And, You know, after Game 6, you know, I looked at Bron, Swish, and Caleb and said, you know, we've been through this before. We've been in Game 7s. We know what it takes. So the new guys are going to look at us. So we got to come out ready to play, whether I'm playing or not, or whether, you know, if you're going offensively, you got to be there mentally for the guys that haven't been there. So I think we did a pretty good job with that tonight.
Tristan, Ron Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390. You mentioned the youngsters not being in a Game 7. You being in the starting lineup, first of all, obviously you accepted the challenge, and you talked about the kids. Were you leading by example as far as letting the kids know, hey, this is how you go about your business in a Game 7?
Well, we won't call them the kids. We'll call them the young men. For me, talking to Larry and just telling him, you know, when you get in a game, or Jordan, just be yourself. Just go out there, play hard, give everything you got. You know, for Jordan, pick and rolls, attack the rim, be yourself. We know what you could do. For Larry, be active, set good screens on the switch, with the guards, defend. So that's what I just tell them to do. Just be yourself. Don't overthink the game. I know that the game is, you know, the do or die, but when you're within that 94 feet, just go out and have fun.
Tristan, Kenny Rhoda, WHBC Sports. How do you stay mentally focused in having a very limited role through 6 games? And then, oh, by the way, here it is, do or die, we're starting you tonight.
It's probably professional. You got to stay ready at all times. I give a lot of credit to our coaching staff. For the guys that weren't playing, like myself and Jetty and Big Z, we were coming in early, playing 5-on-5s, just staying in rhythm, because you never know. It's a long playoff journey. I remember our first year all together. You know, Caleb goes down against Boston, and then, you know, I get thrown in the starting lineup and had to play big against Chicago with Powell and Joe Kim. So, the playoffs it's a long journey. If I'm not on the court, got to be able to cheer my teammates on, and from the sideline, be there mentally and keep guys locked in and focused.
Scott Sargent, WFNY. Not to get too far ahead, but how do you feel your style will translate to the next series compared to the bigs and what Indiana threw at you?
For me, I just do what's got me here, which is playing hard, competing, setting good screens, and just trying to wear out the other bigs on, you know, the defensive end and offensive rebounds. So I know we got Valanciunas and Ibaka and Siakam and Portal, who, you know, have all been playing pretty well this whole season. For me, it's just being active whenever my number's called, and just you know, try to wear them out.
All those guys you just listed, how do they compare to what you just faced in Miles and Booker and the rest of the bigs in Indiana?
Sabonis is a hell of a player. He's a very promising big. He gets to that left hand, physical, strong. So he's kind of similar with Valanciunas in terms of, you know, they're looking to score and they're being aggressive on the offensive end. With Booker, it's kind of like Siakam, you know, very athletic guys. You got to keep them off the glass, take away their energy. You know, Ibaka, you know, he's spacing now and shooting the threes. If you jump on his pump fake, he's going to drive down right, trying to dunk. So everyone's got their tendencies, but I think this Indiana team was a good test for us in the first round. Got us going. For the new guys, let them know, you know, this is what the playoffs are about. So I think we learned a lot from this series.
Tristan, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. When did Ty let you know that you were going to start, and how did you respond?
I was in the weight room yesterday before practice, just doing my daily routine in the weight room, and, you know, he just came up to me and said, I'm going to start you tomorrow. And I said, you know, say no more. At the end of the day, we're all professionals, and me and T. Lou, we've been through years together, so my number's called. Got to be ready to be there for my guys, especially what's on the line, win or go home. So when he told me I'm starting, just locked in and said, you know, it's time to come up and step up.
And you mentioned this series helping you moving forward. Where do you think you guys as a group can benefit the most from a series like this?
I think whenever you know, the games go down the wire, when it's, you know, 3-point game, you know, 2-possession games, that helps us bring us closer together, and we're going to need that moving forward, especially, you know, in Toronto with a very, you know, hostile crowd, and you know, they feed off the crowd. So if they get going early, I think a series like this in Indiana, teaches us, we got to stay together. We got to weather the storm. We just got to keep playing.
Just Tristan, two things. One, how much did just getting a little bit of a run out at the end of the game in Game 6 help you as far as you were saying, getting timing, actually getting game stuff first?
Game 6, I think it was good just so I can get a rhythm, just being out there with the guys and getting up and down and seeing, obviously when you're on the bench watching the game, you get a little cheat code. But once you get out there, you want to be able to see, what moves work, how the coverages are. So, even though it was a blowout, I was glad I was able to get out there just to get a feel for the game so that, if I do get the opportunity to play in Game 7, I'm a little bit more comfortable and ready to play.
Last part of it is just given all that this season has entailed for you on and off the court, how gratifying is it for you to come in and deliver this kind of performance?
At the end of the day, when my number's called, I got to be there for my teammates, be ready to play, and I'm glad we got the win.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. For the longest time there, it looked as if LeBron might play 48 minutes. He ended up finally getting a pretty nice stretch of rest. What does it mean for the other guys on the team to be able to lighten his load in situations like this?
Yeah, when Brown went out and went to the back, G. Hill and Jeff Green, they stepped up, especially G. Hill not playing in the first half, coming in the third quarter and giving us that spark at the point guard position with him and Brown running the 13 action. It was huge for us. He was able to make shots, get to the lane, and put pressure on Bogdanovic to either pick or choose if he's going to stop him or let Brown get the jumper. So when Brown went out, I think it was great confidence booster for those guys to get going, and we're going to need those guys to be huge for us going down the stretch.
When he does so much, so often, is there a little bit of a self-conscious feeling like, we really do need to pick it up or somehow fill in the gaps?
Whenever you got the best player in the world or your leader on the team, giving everything he's got, whether it's, he's playing the point guard position, guarding, rebounding, blocking shots, assisting. For me, and the younger guys, we got to pick it up. We got to give everything we got. If he's giving 100%, we got to give 120. So we got to find that extra boost and go out there and fight with him because, we're a team and he's going to war for us every night. We got to do the same thing.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. You've watched LeBron a long time. Have you the energy he was expending? Is that maybe one of the biggest efforts you've seen from him? And it looked like his heart was pounding at some points.
I thought I had a good motor, but his motor is unreal. He's got a Lamborghini motor, so it's amazing to see what he's able to do. And you give a lot of credit to how he approaches the game and takes care of his body. Ever since he's come back, he's always told us, your body is what's going to keep you going. You got to take care of it and do the right thing. And for him to be able to do all that, it's unreal. It's crazy, especially in year 15. Jeez, if I could find out the remedy for that, I'll definitely take it. Thank you, guys.
You spill some water on this, Jim? You got a new chair? Yeah.
I-90. How gratifying, satisfying is it to you personally, the way you've emerged this year, 3 teams, 3 years, and your own performance? Surely it feels terrible and tastes terrible to end the season with a loss, but just that you're sitting up there by yourself right now, the leader of this team, and the way you led it, the way you played this series.
First off, I just want to thank God for the ability to play this game. Thank God for all the blessings He's given me, and just thank God for this year. It's been a blessing. I'm alive, and I'm playing the game I love. Unfortunately, it ended a little sour, but I wouldn't trade this year for anybody or the men in that locker room for anyone. It's been a phenomenal year. I left it all out there. We left it all out there. It's one of the best locker rooms, not the best locker room I've ever been a part of. So it was an honor to play alongside those gentlemen, and I look forward to growing with them in the future.
You also seem to share a moment with LeBron at the end. What was said there, if you can share it, and then your thoughts of LeBron, 45, 9, 7, 345 or so point games this series.
You got to ask him what he said. I ain't say it, he said it. And, I mean, amazing. I mean, he did what he always does. It's not really shocking. I mean, he's the best in the world. That's what the best does. Now I got to work so I can get on that level.
Victor, Kenny Rowe to WHBC Radio. You guys had 2 blowout wins. Cavaliers 4 wins. They all count the same, but very close. Could have gone either way. What was the difference in those 4 close games that you guys came up short in?
I think in some of the close games, we didn't make some shots we normally make. And, bounces here, bounces there. And LeBron hits a fadeaway 3 one of the games. It's tough, They were all close, and we just came up short, so. But overall, like I said, it was a great year. We learned a lot from this series about ourselves. I learned a lot about myself. And just got to continue to keep getting better so we can better ourselves for years to come.
Were you guys at all caught off guard with Tristan being inserted into the starting lineup today for the first time in this series?
Yeah, it was obviously new for us, but I think in the second half we did a better job of making the adjustment, and, credit them, credit him. He played a great game, came in and was effective, and, we just came up short. So it's unfortunate, but give them credit. They played well.
How motivated are you to get back in the gym, like right now? Or do you want to take some time and just let it marinate a little bit?
I don't know how to take time off. So everybody, I had somebody tell me, take a break and enjoy your life. I say, this is my life. So.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Victor, I know it's just the immediate aftermath of the year you've been through, but can you put into words what it was like to elevate your career from where you were in Orlando and Oklahoma City to this year from the All-Star game to pushing the Cavs to the brink, and what do you see in the future for yourself in the NBA?
It was a great year, but honestly, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of how good I really can be. That's just me being honest, and I feel like I got a lot of work to do, and I got a lot of room to improve and things that I need to get better at, and I'm going to watch film and go over the games over the course of a year and see what I can improve at, and this summer I'm going to go to work so I can come back even better than this year.
Victor, can you talk about, when you look back at the season overall, the trust level that you built amongst your teammates, and try to put into words how that kind of defined this team this season?
I think it's the reason why we went so far and why we're here today. We haven't even been together for a year. Some of us have played together, but majority of us as a whole, this is our first year playing together. And the only reason why we were successful is because we trust each other and because of the characteristics of the gentlemen in the locker room. And it's been phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And we just got to build on that to better our future.
Vic, Charlie Clifford, Wish TV. You said at the beginning of the year this is the first time you felt like a team actually believed in you. How much of that really impacted what ultimately became of this season?
I think it had a huge impact. I truly believe not only did my teammates and my coaches believe in me, but Indiana believed in me. And the organization believed in me. Kevin Pritchard, Chad Buchanan, the owners, they believed in me, and they believed in my game. And when you have that confidence and the confidence that I have, and you have the people who believe in you on the sidelines and in the locker rooms, it makes it that much easier to just give it your all and play with confidence. So just going to continue to keep getting better so I can take my game to another level.
Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. Vic, what's the next step for this team to go into the summer? And you're talking about how you guys trust each other and stuff like that, but on the floor, what do you think the next step is?
Improvement. I think we all could better our games. I think we all can better our games, and I think we all need to just self-evaluate ourselves and see what we need to improve at and get better at. And I think we need to go and attack this summer and build off this loss. I don't like this feeling. I don't think they like it either. And in order to make sure we don't have this feeling again, we got to put in the work. So that's what we need to do.
And Coach McMillan said that you guys play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the one on the back. How much easier does it make it to build off of that, the fact that, I mean, just going back to that trust thing, that you guys are all buying in?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody thought we were going to be here. I mean, if I told you we were going to be here in what, October, y'all would have looked at me like I was crazy. But we believed in each other and we trust each other. That's the only reason why we're sitting up here talking right now. So we got to improve on that. So I don't got to have this discussion with y'all again.
Victor, Eli Mooney on Metro Networks. Coach McMillan said you guys, win or lose, had a chance to create a moment tonight. Do you feel you created a moment, even in the loss?
Yeah, I think we did. If y'all don't respect the Indiana Pacers now, I have no respect for you. And that's just how I feel. Nobody thought we were going to be here. No one. Not one person. But us in the locker room. And I feel like we've earned our respect from everyone. Now, if you don't respect us, then that's fine. That's your opinion. But I believe we've earned it. So I think that's the moment we have created.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Harassed by James. Oladipo pulls back. High arcing three. Oh, he knocks it down as the shot clock expires. And a big smile from Oladipo. Oladipo to the rim, banks it home. Oladipo lighting it up here in the third. Next whistle. Jeff Green across the lane, kicks it out. Kevin Love for three, puts it in. 8-point lead, timeout Indiana. Shot clock at 8, Collison reverses, drive, shot blocked by Thompson. Rejected out of bounds, still Pacer ball with 5 to shoot. James looking for an opening, he's doubled to Korver. 5 to shoot, back to James for the layup. Oh, and a pass from Korver. Timeout Indiana.
It's going to come a point where I'm going to have to begin to make plays and not try to overdo it.
James drives, gets inside, and finishes once again. Sabonis out on an island against James right now. James steps back inside the arc. Jumper's good. LeBron James 4 for 4 from the field. James, that's a two-pointer. Got it! Gamble too much. Keep the position. Young fakes. Sidestep inside to Turner. Turner banks it home. To J.R. Smith. Stolen by Oladipo. He led the league in that department in the regular season. Bogdanovich for three. It's good! and the Pacers take the lead, their first lead of the game. Oladipo harassed by James. Oladipo pulls back, high arcing three. Oh, he knocks it down as the shot clock expires, and a big smile from Oladipo. Oladipo to the rim, banks it home. Oladipo lighting it up here in the third. Next whistle. Jeff Green across the lane, kicks it out. Kevin Love for three, puts it in. 8-point lead, timeout Indiana. Shot clock at 8, Collison reverses, drive, shot blocked by Thompson. Rejected out of bounds, still Pacer ball with 5 to shoot. James looking for an opening, he's doubled. Korver, 5 to shoot, back to James for the layup. Oh, and a pass from Korver. Timeout Indiana.
There's going to come a point where I'm going to have to begin to make plays and not try to overdo it.
James drives, gets inside, and finishes once again. Sabonis out on an island against James right now. James steps back inside the arc. Jumper's good. LeBron James 4 for 4 from the field. James, that's a two-pointer. Got it! Gamble too much. Keep your position. Young fakes. Sidestep inside to Turner. Turner banks it home. To J.R. Smith. Stolen by Oladipo. He led the league in that department in the regular season. Bogdanovich for three. It's good! And the Pacers take the lead. Their first lead of the game. Oladipo harassed by James. Oladipo pulls back. High arcing three. Oh, he knocks it down as the shot clock expires. And a big smile from Oladipo. Oladipo to the rim, banks it home. Oladipo lighting it up here in the third. Next whistle. Jeff Green across the lane, kicks it out. Kevin Love for three, puts it in. 8-point lead, timeout Indiana. Shot clock at 8, Collison reverses, drive, shot blocked by Thompson. Rejected out of bounds, still Pacer ball with 5 to shoot. James looking for an opening, he's doubled. To Korver, 5 to shoot, back to James for the layup. Oh, and a pass.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, I told you you'd get this one, but can you take us through what happened there when you went back to the locker room?
Just had a little minor injury that we had to take care of. You ready for the fourth quarter?
Looking back on it, I think you sat maybe 6 minutes of game time and whatever and timeouts. And how much did that help you be able to close the game the way that you did?
I mean, obviously throughout the series and especially today. Any little rest I was able to get, benefited me and, ultimately benefited our team.
David McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, from early February through the end of the season, you almost averaged a triple-double. You were playing at a very high level. It seemed to many of us watching these 7 games, you took it even to another level. How do you assess your play to help the Cavs be in the second round?
I just try to do whatever it takes to help us win. And I felt like I just wanted to do that again in this series. Just try to make plays offensively and defensively. Continue to trust my guys and trust myself and trust, how much work I put into my game. So, definitely. It's good to be able to make plays and help yourself advance. And, kudos and a big shout out to the Indiana Pacers, first of all. They were tough team. They have obviously the head of the snake and Vic. Unbelievable jump from last year to this year. We all saw it. And he proved it, why he's a franchise caliber player, and everybody on down, man. They just got a well-rounded team, and they definitely pushed us, pushed us to the brink, basically.
Jason Hood, The Athletic. It looked like you were checking in when you got back to the bench. Did Kevin hitting that three give you a couple more minutes?
Yep.
And you just said they pushed you to the brink. And I know every playoff series is hard, obviously. And there were a lot of sweeps here the last couple of years that may not have been sweeps if a shot went here or there in the first round. But was this harder than any first round series that you've been a part of in recent past?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a challenging series because it's just now, and I can't even like start thinking about like previous series and say if this was harder than the other or the next. But this was a tough series, and like I said, Indiana was they played us as well as anybody's played us all year, and they just got a really good team.
Tom Withers, Associated Press. Bron, what did it mean to have the 4 holdovers from the 3 finals teams out there starting together? And then could you just talk about what both Tristan and George did for you guys today?
Well, we started the game with a unit that we knew, all 5 of us, we knew we can get out of each other. We've been in situations before. We've played in big games before, so that's a comfort to start the game. And then with G. Hill, coming in that third quarter, he gives us another ball handler, another facilitator that can make plays for not only himself but for others. And for him to get to, he got 11 free throws in the second half. He was being aggressive. And we needed every bit of it. So, I said at post game on the court, I said it's not very often where you able to split the game ball in half, but G. Hill and Double T did that tonight.
And could you just talk about Kyle's pass to you with 30 seconds to go? Ty Lue said he was scared before it was thrown.
Well, he trusted me that I'd catch it. And there was some traffic. He didn't have to make that pass, but he trusted I'd catch it. And, Bogdanovich was overplaying me. I went back doors, one of the, simple plays in the game, a give and go. And, Kyle was able to make the pass, and I was able to get the layup.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. LeBron, this kind of series against Indiana, where do you think it can benefit this group the most moving forward?
I don't know. It's a great series, and we had some ups, we had some downs. But I don't know. We move on to the next series. It was a good test for us, especially for this ball club.
Steve Ashmore.com. When trusting your guys gets so rewarded, as it was early with Tristan and some other guys, and then during that stretch when you sat, what does that mean for you, and what does it mean for them to be able to step up and sort of lighten your load a little bit?
Well, listen, we're a team. It's not one individual. We're a team, and all of us expect so much out of each other. And no matter who's out on the floor, we expect guys to make plays, and that's what happened tonight or today.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. How physically taxing was this whole series and maybe today?
It was a good test, but that's what you train for all year. You train all year to be able to put yourself in a position where however the series is or however a playoff series is, then your body can respond. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
While you were back there in the locker room, nobody suggested, do you need an IV or anything?
Yeah.
Did you turn them down?
Yeah.
Tom Reed, The Athletic. LeBron, could you just expand a little bit on Tristan's performances, particularly early in the game, that helped get you guys off to the good start?
That's the Tristan that we know. And giving us extra possessions, catching the ball on rolls, finishing. Just his energy, his effort. That's how he's made his name in his league, by just being high motor and being able to outwork who's ever across from him. So.
And what did you or he say during this stretch when he wasn't getting a lot? How was his attitude, and how did you try to help him along during a kind of a tough stretch for him?
Well, he stayed ready. They be playing 5-on-5 games, sometimes 4-on-4 for the guys that don't play a lot or that's out of the rotation. And Double T has been a part of that the last couple of weeks because he's been out of the rotation. So he's keeping his body right, going out and playing. With some of our assistant coaches, and some of our players that have been out of the rotation, just keeping his mind sharp and ready for whenever his number is called. And he's a veteran now. I mean, it's his 7th year. And he's a vet, and today was an example of professionalism, being able to, whenever your number is called, being able to go out and still produce. And like I said, he took the challenge, and he definitely thrived in that today.
Scott Sargent, WFNY. Your exit late third and early fourth was pretty much unplanned, and that 5-man that Ty went with was, I think, 3 of 19 shooting before that. What can you say about what that group was able to do during that stretch? And I know you're not a big momentum guy, but is that something they can build off of going forward to the next series?
I mean, it was a huge stretch. It was a 2-point game to start the fourth quarter, and those guys went on a run. And Kev, hit some big shots. He had to pull up off G Hill's pass, and Jeff Green had got the post up, was able to drive middle and hit Kev on the right wing for another 3. Even with Jordan was able to get into the lane. He missed a left-hand layup, but he was attacking and just putting pressure on their defense, and we was able to get stops too. That helped. That helped out a lot, and it was just big for not only myself to be able to get a couple more minutes of rest, but for the guys that was out on the floor as well.
Not to look too far ahead, but how does what you saw from Indiana, especially their bigs, translate to what you're going to see next round?
I don't know. I'm burnt right now. I'm not thinking about Toronto right now until tomorrow. I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home. So,
Mike Wilbon, ESPN. LeBron, you spoke so affectionately about Game 7s, and you have in the past as well. Did this, I know you haven't had much time to reflect, but did this feel different to you from the other, 5 or 6 you were in?
Nah, it felt like a Game 7. It was like, your mind is thinking like, okay, besides the 2 I've played in the finals, but you start thinking like, is this it? Could this be it? That's just human nature. And then the other side of my brain was like, let's go make something happen. Let's go. This is what you're here for. You're here to make plays. You're the leader. And, obviously I don't know if I'm going to shoot the ball well, but I know I'm going to be efficient. I know I'm going to have my mind into it. Besides, when I allowed DC to just drive down the lane, I wasn't even paying attention in the third quarter. But other than that, I was just trying to be sharp. I know I could be sharp. And I know that I'm not going to leave a Game 7 as like, I wish I would have did this or I wish I would have did that. I'll be able to leave, the game, and sleep comfortably, because I'm going to leave everything out on the floor. So that was just my mindset.